Zhang Yi wakes to a nighttime raid that explodes his apartment, forcing him to confront a wave of construction workers from Building 26 who have infiltrated the area. He explains to Zhou Core that these laborers, living in cramped quarters and accustomed to physical toil, are far more dangerous than the earlier thug Chen Zhanghao. Their numbers, strength, and willingness to use explosives make them a serious threat. Rather than retaliate directly, Zhang Yi opts for a defensive strategy that leverages the surrounding community. He contacts the residents of Building 25 through their group chat, warning them that the workers have already killed Zhang Meng on the 16th floor and that explosives were used, thereby shifting the burden of defense onto the neighbors. Meanwhile, the Tianhe gang has tunneled through the snow from below, breaching Building 26's defenses. Residents, initially hostile, suddenly turn to Zhang Yi for protection, pleading that he must guard the elderly, women, and children. Zhang Yi, however, is wary of their sudden reverence and admits his ammunition is nearly exhausted, effectively abandoning them. He realizes that his public video has exposed his location, making Building 25 a new target. Uncle Yu, a former military officer in Doorman, privately offers help, identifying the gang's leader, Huang Tianfang, and distancing himself from the criminals. Zhang Yi accepts the offer, recognizing the strategic advantage of Uncle Yu's knowledge and potential support against the dwindling but still dangerous gang. The night ends with Zhang Yi's resolve hardened. He has repelled the initial raid using white phosphorus and firearms, activated his air filtration system, and now faces a broader threat that may require more lethal measures and strategic alliances. The safe house remains under surveillance, but the dynamic within it has shifted to a tense, protective routine as Zhang Yi prepares for future attacks while balancing the needs of the community and the looming snowstorm. The night after the latest raid, Zhang Yi sits in the dim glow of his living room, the air thick with the scent of cold metal and stale coffee. Uncle Yu's voice crackles through the intercom, his tone a mix of caution and resolve. "We can't let them take you," he says, eyes flicking to the reinforced door that still clings to the wall. Zhang Yi nods, his mind replaying the images of the Tianhe gang's fire-scarred faces, the shovels and steel bars they wielded, and the homemade bomb that had once exploded in his hallway. He knows the gang's numbers have dwindled, but their hatred has only grown sharper. In the days that followed, the two men sift through papers and phone calls, compiling a grim inventory of threats. Jokor, the house's quiet healer, scribbles names and numbers, while Uncle Yu taps into his old military contacts to confirm the gang's lack of firearms. The Mad Wolf Gang, a ragged band of 20-year-olds from Building 21, is noted as a secondary danger, but Zhang Yi's focus remains on the Tianhe gang's next move. He feels the weight of the steel fortress around him, a silent promise that he will not be taken by surprise. Yet the threat shifts from a direct assault to a more sinister strategy. Huang Tianfang, the gang's thin-lipped leader, has decided that if he cannot kill Zhang Yi outright, he will strike at the man's neighbors. The gang's recent losses have left them desperate, and they plan to raid other apartments, leaving blood-stained messages in the stairwell. "Zhang Yi, if you don't come out, I'll kill all your neighbors." The words echo through the building's concrete corridors, a chilling reminder that the fortress is not the only line of defense. Zhang Yi's decision to stay inside is both a tactical choice and a psychological gambit. He knows that the building's cameras and reinforced door can hold off a small group, but he also understands that the gang's threat now extends beyond his walls. He resolves to keep his supplies stocked, to monitor the neighbors' movements, and to prepare for a possible siege. The snowstorm outside presses against the windows, a silent witness to the tension that has settled over the apartment complex. In the quiet, Zhang Yi's thoughts turn to the future, to the possibility of a larger conflict, and to the fragile peace that hangs by a thread of steel and resolve. Huang Tianfang executed a brutal campaign against the residents of Building 25, slaughtering many in a desperate bid to force Zhang Yi into the open. While a typical protagonist might have felt compelled to intervene, Zhang Yi remains safely within his fortified apartment, viewing the massacre with detached amusement. He recognized that the resulting panic would inevitably drive his neighbors to beg for his protection, a strategy that proved successful within 2 days. The residents, terrified by the blood-written warnings left by the Tianhe gang, flooded the group chat with accusations, insisting that Zhang Yi was responsible for bringing the gang to their doorstep and demanding he resolve the crisis. They appealed to his conscience, asking if he could truly watch them die, unaware that their moral posturing was entirely hollow. Zhang Yi responded with cold mockery, dismantling their arguments by pointing out their own complicity in the earlier attack on his home. He reminded them that he had shown mercy by not killing them all when he had the chance, and he vividly recalled the gruesome fate of Chen Zhanghao, who had been frozen and smashed to pieces. His sinister tone and reminder of his lethal capabilities silenced the group, as the residents remembered that Zhang Yi was not someone to be trifled with. The moral blackmail failed, leaving the neighbors in a state of despair as they realized they were still vulnerable to the ruthless Tianhe gang, who showed no regard for consequences or survival. Just as hope seemed lost, Uncle Yu stepped into the conversation, offering a glimmer of leadership. The neighbors, who had previously ignored him, suddenly praised his reliability and demanded he take charge. However, Uncle Yu quickly exposed their hypocrisy by noting their lack of food and their expectation that he would fight alone while they watched. He pointed out that their supplies were gone and their bodies were weak from hunger, making them unfit for combat. Seizing the opportunity, Uncle Yu steered the conversation toward a single solution: Zhang Yi. He argued that only Zhang Yi, with his weapons and strength, could lead them to victory. The neighbors, despite having just angered him, eagerly agreed, begging Uncle Yu to persuade Zhang Yi to come out of retirement and save them.